I think everybody's played a game before that's changed their life. I have two games like that. The first is Starfox Adventures, and that's something I'll talk about in a different video. But the second is Seven Swords Online. See, Seven Swords Online was a mobile MMORPG released in November 2010. It was one of the first MMOs on a phone, and it really showed people what phone games are capable of. This game had a chat system, item crafting, multiple classes, and multiple nations to pick from with unique and diverse locations in 2010. This game changed everything for me and showed me that mobile doesn't have to be used for simple flash-like games. They can imitate console quality games easily, and maybe even surpass some. Honestly, these clips I'm showing you aren't doing this game any justice. The textures look surprisingly clean, and while there was a little bit of repetitiveness in some of the environments, there was still a decent amount of variety. But even disregarding the visuals, the game introduced concepts that we're still barely seeing being implemented today. The system I'm talking about is the territory system. See, the character had the option to choose between 3 different nations: Nox, Lumen, and Aurora. The 3 nations were pretty much the same, and it only influenced which environments you go to. But the thing that was really interesting about the territory system is that your nation could go to war with another, and you can claim territories, which would allow you to access areas that were inaccessible to you before. These new areas would have new items, monsters, and ores that you can use to craft new weapons and armor. And now, I think you can begin to understand why I said this game is life-changing. If you played mobile games in 2010, you would know that games like Angry Birds, Cut the Rope, and Jetpack Joyride dominated the market. So to see a fully realized 3D MMO with deep underlying mechanics pop up on your store page, it just felt amazing. And soon after, I'd play games like Modern Combat 3, Nova 3, Star Wars Imperial Academy, Infinity Blade 2, Xenonia 3, and so many others that will continue to raise the bar on what's possible and what's expected of mobile games. But Seven Swords would always be my benchmark. Fast forward 2 years later, the entire mobile game industry will become absolutely flooded and filled with 2 different types of games. The first of these is the microtransaction-filled, city-building Clash of Clans clone. The similarities between these games are surprising, and honestly, it should be illegal. And the funny part is, Clash of Clans didn't even start this trend. I distinctly remember Smurfs Village, Farmville, and Cityville being out way before Clash of Clans ever came out. But either way, Clash of Clans revolutionized this system of 2 currencies, diamonds and gold. See, that gold currency is going to be easy to earn. You'll have hundreds of thousands of it after a couple of hours, and that diamond currency is pretty much impossible to earn. After the first couple of hours of playing, you'll have close to 0 if you're not spending real life money. But when you start the game, the developers give you enough diamonds that you can progress all your towers quickly, if not instantly, and make you become dependent on that. They specifically design it so that you need diamonds to progress how you did in the early game, or you'll be waiting hours, days, or even weeks just to make one single building. And the other type of game is the gacha game. Essentially, a gacha machine is a machine where you put your money in, and a plastic collectible toy pops out. Now these gacha games take that same principle, but instead of giving you a toy, they give you a character to use, or items. And if you want to be successful in these games, you have to continually put your money in the virtual gacha machines that have no real guarantee of giving you anything. Or you have to grind for hours and hours to earn the premium currency, if you can even earn it at all. Now obviously, I'm just painting broad strokes here. There's hundreds and hundreds of types of games on the App Store, and there are many games that are vastly superior to the ones released in 2010. Games like Monument Valley and Iron Marines perfectly represent what mobile gaming is supposed to be about. And with services like Google Play Pass and Apple Arcade, I'll go as far as to say there's an even greater market for innovative mobile games than there ever was. But even with all that said, the top grossing games will always be dominated by soulless cash grabs, filled with premium currency, paywalls, and timers. This is where Dragon Raja enters the equation. See, there's another phenomenon in mobile gaming I haven't quite talked about yet, and that's false advertising. A lot of these mobile games use advertising that's misleading at best and outright fake at worst. Raid Shadow Legends and Game of War are bad for this, but Lords Mobile is especially terrible. You might have seen these advertisements where it looks like content creators are playing a RTS Age of Empires type game, but of course these actors are paid and all of the gameplay is CG. Lords Mobile is just another soulless, base building cash grab. And I thought Dragon Raja was just another case of this. Whenever I saw the trailer for this game, I just assumed it was some Korean MMO I didn't know about, and they just took the gameplay from it and slapped it on their trailer. But the more I saw it, and the more I read comments about it, everybody confirmed this is what the game looks like, so I became interested and I downloaded it. And now, after playing it for some hours, I'm willing to say that Dragon Raja is one of the best mobile games ever made, and it might help save the mobile game industry. And now, some of you may be asking, what is Dragon Raja and what makes this game so special? There's 3 aspects that make this game stand out, so let's dive in and check them out. And as soon as you start the game, you're presented with this beautiful intro cinematic and this strange message across the top. Resist unhealthy games, reject pirated games, pay attention to self-protection, beware of fraud, game in moderation, addiction causes health problems, manage your time, enjoy a healthy life. Seems like pretty good principles to live by. And after getting past that screen, you're presented with 6 classes: Blade Master, Gunslinger, Assassin, Soul Dancer, Fighter, and Reaper. Although you can't unlock the Reaper until you get to level 70 with the Blade Dancer. And after that, you move on to customizing your character. And I believe this is where you can see the very first feature that makes this game special, its depth of features. Now this extends far, far beyond customizing your character, but it begins here. This game is so deep and so complex, it would take me multiple hours to explain every single system. There's a career system, a core system, a gear enhancement system, an emblem system, a deep talent and talent system, a sigil system, a motor system, and I haven't even explained half of the stuff that makes this game so deep. And the best part about it is, you could take advantage of all these systems and make your character strong and viable in PvP without spending a single dime. Yes, this game does have a premium currency system, and you can buy stronger weapons and armor, but the developers implemented so many ways for the character to progress themselves for free, you're just lazy if you're doing that. And that's the way it should be, and part of the reason why I say this game might change the mobile industry. The success of this game might teach developers that it's more effective to have the premium currency as a way to progress faster instead of progressing at all. But moving on from that, we get into our tutorial section, and you can quickly see the next thing that makes this game so special, the graphics. This game is powered by Unreal Engine 4, and you can tell it is absolutely stunning, surpassing even some console games this generation. It's so amazing to me how far we've come in the last 10 years of mobile gaming. This type of experience can run on an average phone without stuttering or lagging. But even more than that, the third thing that makes this game special is something you really can't find on many other mobile games, and that's its willingness to take risks. See, most RPGs on mobile platforms have an auto fight feature, and because the gameplay is so simplistic in these games, the AI for the auto fight can use every skill and basically play like the best version of the player. These games don't feature buffs or debuffs, status effects, things of that nature, so the AI could just use the normal attack until the cooldown for the special attack is done, use the special attack, and then they're playing perfectly. Dragon Raja doesn't feature an auto fight feature of any kind, and if it does, it's heavily discouraged. I looked for several minutes and I couldn't find it at all. This simple tweak encourages the player to look at their skills and read the descriptions instead of just picking the one with the highest damage numbers. This game has platforming elements and free roaming movement similar to the Infamous games, and they can't even monetize that. They just do it because they know it makes the game better. I say all of this to say, Dragon Raja is an amazing game. I hope you give it a try, and I hope all the accolades and awards this game has received will encourage mobile developers to stop developing the same game over and over, take a step back, and really try to make something unique and creative. Because I want kids in the future to have the same type of experience I had with 7 Swords Online. And that's all I got for y'all today. So leave a comment, like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.